Chapter 20. Dani drove the 10 minutes from Zach's house to the place she shared with Mark in the dark, only half listening to her son chatter about the day's events and revelations. She'd been worried about how he would take the news, and was pleased it had gone well. There would be questions, she knew, that would pop out here and there for a long time to come. She would just have to handle them as they came. The only thing she was sure of was that Mark didn't need to know the details about why Zach didn't know about him. She wasn't going to ruin his memories of his grandfather with that. "Well, what do you say, Mom?" It dawned on her that Mark had been asking her something. "I'm sorry. I was thinking, what are you asking again?" "I asked if you thought Zach would mind terribly if I called him Dad." She started to answer, but emotion closed her throat and wouldn't let her words out. She had to swallow twice, then clear her throat before she could speak again. "You should probably check with him, but I think he'd be okay with it." She was certain Zach would love it, but making Mark ask himself did a couple things. It taught him to ask someone how they feel, and to listen to them. But it also gave him self-confidence to know she trusted him to do his own asking. She'd had a couple moms in Flagstaff accuse her of being lazy because Mark had chores that included cooking twice a week and doing his own laundry. She didn't see it that way. She saw it as teaching him skills he would need later in life. Too many people now didn't know basic things like how to feed themselves. But Mark would. "I can ask when I stay with him while you work, day after tomorrow. You're gonna let me, aren't you?" "I'm not sure if it's a good idea." She was bluffing. She planned to let the two of them use the time to get to know each other better, but she wanted to hear Mark's argument. Besides, once in a while, it was good for him to think he'd won her over to something, even if it wasn't really true. "Please? It would be so much better than Aunt Sarah's." "Can I?" "Do you not like going to Aunt Sarah's?" She thought he liked it there. "I do, but being there all day gets boring. Her kids are all way younger and don't play the same things, and they watch baby cartoons." "Zach doesn't have any kids your age either. Are you sure you won't be bored there?" "Nah. He's cool. Plus, without someone else to take care of, we can do things together." "Like what?" "I don't know. I could take some Legos with me, everyone likes to build with Legos." "That might work." She fell silent, waiting for him to come up with something else if he did. "We could fish too. Maybe I could talk him into teaching me to water ski." Mark looked at her out of the corner of his eye, like he half expected her to prohibit that. She would if she thought Zach would take him out alone, but she remembered the lessons with his dad, the older Mark. He'd always had several people in the boat he drove, and there was at least one other person to keep an eye on the skier and handle anything that needed to be done. She wasn't sure if he thought he was pushing his luck or if he was giving up, but Mark didn't say anything more the rest of the way home. Once they arrived, he helped her carry their bags in and headed for the shower without having to be told. She suspected he was going to be on his best behavior for the next 36 hours, so she would let him go to Zach's. She wasn't going to tell him her mind was already made up. Why would she waste something like that?